Hi, this is Eddie Holman. You're listening to Wrightington Hospital Radio.
Playing the best of yesterday and today. Your station, your music, 24 hours a day. The best of yesterday and today. This is your station, Wrightington Hospital Radio.
Turn up your radio and tune in that dial. Bill Hart on your radio, you know he's guaranteed to make you smile.
We're here again, once more, putting the Red Rose of Lancashire on the world's rock and roll map, and helping us tonight to do it is a band, local they are, from Wigan, called Age Gap. Well, we're going to get some interesting things from them. Meanwhile, we're going to take you into the first bit of rock and roll.
Well, if you ever plan to motor west, try to take my way, that's the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it goes from St. Louis down to Missouri. Oklahoma City looks so pretty, you'll see. Amarillo and Gallup, New Mexico. Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget we know that Kingman, Barstow, and San Bernardino. If you get into this kindly tip, go and take that California trip. Get your kicks on Route 66. All right. Oklahoma City looks so pretty, you'll see. Amarillo and Gallup, New Mexico. Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget we know that Kingman, Barstow, and San Bernardino. If you get into this kindly tip, go and take that California trip. Get your kicks on Route 66. the city looks all so pretty, you'll see. Amarillo and Gallup, New Mexico. Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona. Kingman, Barstow, and San Bernardino. If you get into this kindly tip, go and take that California trip. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, get your kicks on Route 66. Yeah, get your kicks on Route 66.
The best music on the best station.
Route 66, giving us all there by Chevy 57, or should I say 57 Chevy. They've not been at Lanky Cats much, these guys, of late, but they came about 3 years ago, and they ripped the place up. There's no 2-minute pop songs with these guys. A 2-minute pop song actually is turned into a 4-minute epic marathon with these guys. Looking forward to them coming back to Lanky Cats shortly during the new year. More about them later, but here we go. A band called Rockin' Relics played at Lanky Cats last Thursday, and they've now made themselves exceedingly popular by playing this song. It's called Sailing.
Let me out, I can't breathe, gotta get out of this concrete hole. I'm wrecked, I'm decked, gotta break free before I lose control. Cast a line away from the dock of the harbor bay. All those cares and worries of woe, you can save them for another day. Cause we're sailing, 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 sailing. Give me space, I'm on fire, banging my head against this heartbreak wall. When I'm gone for so long, well, you can leave a message, but I'll never call. Cast a line away from the dock of the harbor bay. It's a fine, fine day. The wind is blowing our way. Let's go sailing, sailing.
This is a health information announcement brought to you by Wrightington Hospital Radio. In the UK, about 2,500 people a year are diagnosed with mesothelioma. This is a form of cancer which affects the mesothelium, a thin membrane which lines the inner surface of the chest wall and the abdomen, surrounding organs such as the heart, lungs and intestines. Mesothelioma is more common in men than in women, and nearly half of the people diagnosed with the disease are over 75 years old. Exposure to asbestos is responsible for up to 90% of mesothelioma cases. The disease was first described in medical literature in the 1870s, but it was not until 1935 that a link with asbestos was suspected. In 1960, the first definite link was reported. Ingesting asbestos dust and airborne fibres is the major cause of mesothelioma. It is now known that people exposed to asbestos at any time are potentially at risk, but it must be stressed the majority of people exposed to asbestos dust do not suffer ill health as a result. There is no way yet of identifying who or why some people go on to suffer while others remain unaffected. Do you suffer from mesothelioma or know someone who does or has died as a result of the disease? Mesothelioma UK supports people with this asbestos cancer. They have a patient and support group which meets every first Monday of the month from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Cross Street Chapel in Manchester City Centre. If you'd like more information, please contact them on 0161 636 7555. I'll give that number again, but do consider going along, as you'll have nothing to lose but everything to gain. That number to contact the patient and carer support group is 0161 636 7555.
Wonderful. So just do as you're told. That's what that message was all about. What we're going to do is going to tell you about that little bit of a track there by the Rockin' Relics. Yes, it's Mike Oldfield, the originator of that particular song, and what a nice little number it is. It's been brought to my attention by those guys doing it. And what you got to do when you're singing Sailing, you got to kind of raise your hands in the air, you got to wave them side to side. Don't we, Diane?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. She's not feeling too good tonight, are you, Diane? But anyway, we'll get over that. We're delighted that we are, that's myself, Bill Hart, and Diane is producing tonight, and we're absolutely delighted with that, again, as usual. But I've got some kind of bad news for Diane. I've got some really bad news. I'm going to make you redundant, Diane.
I know about it. I think you're doing well.
I've now undertaken some training on the desk, and I had my first session last week with Kevin, but I'd also had some initial, what you could say, preamble to that with Diane over a few weeks, and I've been going through the rudiments of operating the levers and the buttons on these desks and CD players and things. I'm really enjoying.
The technical term is the bits and bobs.
The bits and bobs. That sounds very technical to me. Yeah. So by New Year, I'm hoping that I'm going to be flying solo. And you know what that means, don't you?
You're doing a light plane.
I'm coming in here and I'm doing it all myself. Instead of relying on.
No, I'll be still coming and keeping my eye on things for a while.
I can bet you will.
For a while to make sure you don't get stuck.
That's right. You'll be more than welcome.
People don't realise how much work goes involved to doing something like this, do they?
I've realised now just what it takes to kind of get programs running smoothly, and not just that. We have to bring you entertainment within that, and to do that. It's no mean feat. So I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm undergoing a lot of pain in this learning process.
It's like going to the dentist.
It is. Pulling teeth is nothing compared to trying this lot on. Anyway, we're going to be having our guests on shop shortly, and we're looking forward to chatting here and there, some music that they brought along with them, and of course we're looking forward to listening to A.D. Cook, she calls herself, doesn't she? A.D. Cook, but her name's Andrea, isn't it?
That's correct, yes.
Her professional tag is A.D. Cook, and she's produced.
She also goes under Andy Cook as well.
Andy Cook,
Yeah.
Andy Cook as well.
Andy with an I.
Andy with an I. That's good. Well, despite the kind of AD, Andy and Andrea Cook, we'll get all three in there, she has produced and is performed an amazing CD, and the title song on the CD is Northern Girl. Just get a bit of a load of this. If that's not superb, it's not superb. Ev, what do you think? What do you really think about that?
I love that record. I keep playing that. That's actually on the system.
That's on the system.
Yeah, it's been from the system. I love that track. There's another superb track on that as well called Scurry Bridge, which is about a motorway bridge in Orwell, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah. And what we'll do is we'll play some more of Andrea on a few up-and-coming shows. I promise we'll play Andrea's songs a kind of as the weeks go on. I'll play a track from each of her CDs, as we do the shows in the future, which is not something I can promise to everybody. And so that's what we'll do, and we'll look forward to doing some of that. Now you can probably hear some shufflings going on here in the studio, and that's because we've got 3 guests with us now, and we're very happy to have in our company a band called Age Gap. Now then, Age Gap are Dan Mercer.
Hello.
Jeff Winstanley.
Hello.
And Graham Melling.
Hi there.
Age Gap. Is there another member missing?
Yes, there is.
There's the
Paul.
What's
Paul.
What's his name?
Paul Baxendale.
Paul Baxendale. I know Baxy very well. He's a bass player, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, shame you couldn't make it, Baxy. But I think you'll be working. Is that right? He's working in Baxy.
He is.
What a shame he couldn't make it tonight. But never mind. What we'll do, we'll get on with the with some of the chat and music that's happening down the line. I'm going to take, first of all, Graham Melling. I want you to come and shape yourselves in here somehow, some way, as you can probably tell with the background music that's going on, background stuff that's going on. We're doing a little bit of shuffling. You know, we're not the biggest studio in the land, are we, Diane?
It's the broom cupboard.
It's a broom. It's bigger than a broom. It's
much.
Better than a broom cupboard.
It fits one more broom than a normal broom cupboard.
Yeah, yeah. And the air conditioning is working well tonight as well.
It's nice and cool, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But these 3 guys are coming and warming things up.
I know, but we can throw them out when we get too warm.
Is that right?
Don't tell them I said so, though.
Oh, right.
Shh, Mum's the word.
Graham, I think, are you the latest member to join the band?
Well, no, Paul was the last to join, wasn't he? I was just before Paul.
Right, okay. And what do you do in this band called Age Gap?
Right, well, I play the drums.
You're a drummer, right. And are you enjoying playing with these other guys?
I am, yes. Well, Jeffrey, I've known for quite a while. We met through his brother-in-law, Roger.
Yeah.
Who I used to play with back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And Roger organised a reunion of the 70s band when we were all turning 50 back in 2003, and I met Jeff through that.
Excellent, excellent. What I want to know from you, Graham, is some of your past history when it comes down to what you've done in the past. Can you give us a little bit of an idea?
Well, not a great lot, to be perfectly honest. As I said, I used to work for Leyland Motors. I joined them back in 1970.
Yeah.
And I'd always had this desire to play the drums, and I persuaded my parents to buy me a drum kit from them.
How old were you?
At the age of 11. I kept pestering them to buy me a drum kit, but they wouldn't. And I ended up picking up bits of kit from second-hand shops.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the first thing I bought was an old Gigster bass drum and snare drum.
Oh, wow. That good, eh?
Yeah. And then sort of built it up with bits from the same sort of second-hand shop in Southport over a period of years. And I just used to play to records I taped off the Pick of the Pops on a Sunday on an old 6-inch reel-to-reel tape recorder.
Fantastic.
So I used to make a lot of noise in my bedroom.
The things we used to do like that were astonishing. We just wanted to do something that made us kind of get into it somehow. I don't know what it was. It was happening to so many of us as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, it was around the period when the Beatles and the Stones were hitting the big time. But,
absolutely. What inspiration we had to actually get out there and perform our own particular music based on bands as good as the Rolling Stones and the Beatles. That's what we aspired to do. Yep. So our teachers were the best, as it were, at doing these kind of things. So I'm absolutely delighted that you've come on to the Lanky Beat show for us tonight. You have to give us a little bit of an insight into those particular wonderful musical worlds of yours. Now then, you haven't got a particularly strategic CD track to play us, but I believe, are you playing the drums on this one?
Yeah, what the CD you've got there is the band that I used to play with in the 70s.
What were they?
Called Curfew.
Curfew.
We used to play around the clubs of Wigan, Liverpool, as far as Kendal, all the way down to Llandudno.
Excellent.
We played for about 3 years before the lads, we all split up. Some got married, some went off to uni.
Yeah,
we did a 3-week tour of Sweden. Yeah, I went round Stockholm playing the clubs round there.
Well, so we're going to listen to a little bit of your drumming as well on this particular track, aren't we? And this one's called Smoke on the Water. That's a wow, is it not? An absolute buzzing reproduction, that, isn't it?
Love it.
Well done, Graham Milling. And Curfew. That was something that's very, very special. And if I might play my cards right, he might give me this to keep and play some more of later on in the year when I get my feet under the table, as it were. Because I'm pushing Diane out. I am. I'm determined.
I'm being made redundant.
Well, sitting patiently, waiting of his turn here, are two other gentlemen. I'm going to take the youngest first. Okay. I think I'm taking the youngest first. It's difficult to choose between them. Age Gap doesn't have a name like that by accident, and Dan Mercer is going to tell us all about that. How are you, Dan?
Yeah. Well, we decided on the name Age Gap, didn't we? Because when we first started, me and Jeff just got together and we were just going to do something between ourselves. And I'm 23. At the time I was 22 and Jeff was 72, which I think you still are, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Heading towards.
Yeah.
73.
Yeah. So we couldn't think of a name, and we just came up with Age Gap because we thought it was quite apt.
I think it's absolutely perfect. I mean, young men and young bands get themselves together and organise and do that very well. And older bands do the same. But it's not that often you get the mix. There's definitely a divide when it comes to that, and you've got to be special people to have, say for instance, like Original Replica. They have three very young musicians, guitarists, and they have a drummer that's quite a distance away from their young age. And here we have the reverse, where Dan is the younger one, and the other guys are mature, just like what I is. And so, I think this mix again together is absolutely superb, because I think the experience from the older guys can benefit the younger guys, and then the younger guys come in and bring all their new, energetic, testosterone-fueled selves into the mix. And then you've got something really extraordinary because of it. So, well done. That's all I can say to you, Dan. And I can see you brought your guitar as well.
We have, yeah.
And I'm going to look forward to, in a minute, you playing that for us. And what we'll do, just meanwhile, just quiz you a little bit more about things. Getting into playing, I've got it kind of in my mind that you came on the scene, although you're only 23 now, you still came on the scene pretty late when it came to playing some music. Tell me about that.
Well, I started working at a school when I was 17, and one of the other teaching assistants there had this little tiny, it was a toy guitar really, but he started playing a few chords on it, and I was watching and I thought, I want to get into that, So I asked him whether he would show me 2 chords on it, and he showed me G and D. And I went out that weekend and I bought the same sort of little toy guitar, and that's how I learnt my first, God knows how many chords on that, And then I met up with Eric, who comes to Lanky Cats, and he showed me like the rest of most of what I know. When I joined his little band, which was a little jam band in the Britannia pub in Holland, and then I met Graham Tosh, who introduced me to Jeff.
Yeah.
And then me and Jeff got together, so it's only in the last, from when I was 17 that I've started playing.
Yeah. Did you play guitar straight away, or what?
I started on guitar.
You started on guitar, and so you stuck with it then?
It was the best thing I've ever started.
Keyboards.
I'm just saying that we've got some idea that you might be playing keyboard as well.
Yeah. Well, I used to play keyboards I started when I was about 6. Until I was 8, and then I dropped it. I never did nothing with it. And then when me and Jeff got together, I picked up the keyboards again, didn't I? So I don't know a great deal, but I know a little bit. You know what I mean? I can hold a tune on it and stuff like that. So.
But you've worked yourself.
Always a modest.
You've worked yourself up from the very kind of rudiments, the beginnings, and you're actually performing in a band now. You've been embraced by other musicians, and you're good enough. That's to do that.
It's more than good enough.
It's more than good enough, isn't it?
Every place we go back to,
it brings a new dimension to the band, doesn't it, Jeff?
Absolutely.
They always say, how is improving? It's guitar.
Well,
everything. It's confidence.
I mean, I saw you, Jeff, and I'll come back big style with you in a minute, but I saw you originally with Graham Tosh in a band called Phase 2, and that's where I first met you, with Phase 2.
Well, I was the drummer in that band.
And you were a drummer, weren't you, as well? Graham. So, sticking with with Dan for a minute, or 2 or 3, well, I just think that's something quite inspiring for other younger musicians to think about and get their heads around some of that, because how much they can bring to any band of any age, as well as doing perhaps stuff with people their own age. And what I'm trying to say is, if you're in a young band and you're a young man in a young band or a young woman in a young band, you could always branch out, get together with say an older band and broaden your experience. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely.
Agreed. And it'll do you no harm. I think the biggest thing I ever did, the best thing I ever did as a drummer, I thought I could play drums when I was in a band in the 60s. We were well liked, everybody seemed to enjoy what we were playing. And then I went into the social clubs. And then I found out I couldn't play the drums. It really did open my eyes, because all I've been used to playing was like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 on the drums. All of a sudden they wanted chap 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 or whatever kind, and it was a completely different ballgame. And I learned my craft not in a beat group in the 60s, but in the social clubs in the 70s. And I'm so much better off for it, because I've got all the rudiments of all these kind of velitas and old-fashioned dances and things like that, waltzes and stuff like that. So that's great, and that is where the broadening of the music and the musicians' skills are enhanced by that kind of thing. I want you now to hitch up your guitar down and get yourself organised. What kind of what's the song you've got ready for us today?
We're going to do Claudette.
And you're going to be singing this with Jeff, who we're yet to have a chat with. And I just want you to, when you're good and ready, to let me know, and we'll give you a little countdown.
Okay.
Shall I give you a countdown?
Yes, go on.
2, 3, 4.
Oh, Claudette. Yay, yay, Claudette. I've got a brand new baby and I'm feeling so good. She loves me even better than I thought she would. I'm on my way to her house and I'm blown out of breath. But when I see her tonight, I'm gonna squeeze it to death. Claudette, pretty little pet Claudette, never makes me fret. Claudette, well, she's the greatest little girl that I've ever met. I got the best loving that I'll ever get from Claudette. Claudette. Well, I'm a lucky man, my baby treats me right. She's gonna let me hug and kiss and hold her tight. When the day's over and we're at her front door, I'm gonna kiss her goodnight and holler more, more, more. Claudette, pretty little pet Claudette, never makes me fret. Claudette, well, she's the greatest little girl that I've ever met. I got the best loving that I'll ever get from Claudette. Oh, Claudette. When me and mine and baby's having a dream, I'm gonna ask my baby if she'll marry me. I'm gonna be so happy for the rest of my life when my brand new baby is my brand new wife. Claudette, pretty little pet Claudette, never makes me fret. Claudette, well, she's the greatest little girl that I've ever met. I got the best loving that I'll ever get from Claudette. Oh, Claudette. Yay, yay, Claudette. Oh, Claudette.
I knew that would come in. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
Love it, love it.
Thank you very much.
Credit to you both, really is. That is, I say both because I know there's 3 guys here. The main musicians on that particular track, Claudette, was Dan Mercer and Jeff Stanley, who we've got now. Now we've got you, Jeff. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about your history, haven't we?
Oh, well.
I mean,
how long have we got?
How long have we got?
72 years.
I thought you were going to say that, and we've not got that long. Cool. Well, how did you get into the business then?
Well, I started off when I was 15, actually.
Yeah.
And it was a friend of mine that I used to go up to his house because he played bass, and there was a friend of his who used to play the guitar, and I had an amp and a guitar, and I used to ride on my bike up to his house with the amp and the guitar, and I fell off once actually.
I bet you did.
But before that, I mean, I used to go every week. But then when I fell off, I got a bit cheesed off then, so I give up then. So I just, no, after that, but I played at St John's Youth Club, and we had my amp, an El Pico, a little amp, and I plugged his bass into it and my guitar, and it blew up. It blew the amp up because we plugged his bass in it. So that was the first and last booking that we ever did at this at St John's Youth Club.
Oh yes, I remember St John's. Yes.
Yeah, well, I was actually the only non-Catholic that was allowed to go in that club, to be a member, because I played for the football team.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's another story though. Yeah. But then I didn't play again until I got married till I was 22, which is nearly 50 years ago.
Yeah.
When I met a fella that I took my vehicle to this garage, which was near Seven Stars, and this lad that I used to do plumbing with was there, and I was chatting to him, and he said he was on the way to starting a duo or a group up. I said, I fancy that. So we got together and we did 4 years as the Leeways.
The Leeways,
yeah.
Right.
And we.
What kind of year are we talking about here, Jeff? Leeways.
22, 66. 68,
yeah,
67, right? 67.
Yeah.
So we did about three and a half years, something like that.
Right.
Which we were under agency, so we were doing 3 or 4 bookings a week.
Right.
We did South Wales. We did up north, around Newcastle and places like that, but mainly around Wigan area.
Yeah, excellent.
Which was really good. I really enjoyed
that. I mean, the Wigan area had a lot of venues for bands to play, didn't they?
Yeah.
And most other towns as well, in the northern mill towns of Lancashire. That it was rooted in that, in 60s particularly. 50s, 60s were rooted in beat groups and rock and roll.
And the clubs, you know, there was loads of clubs, and they were full. They were full at 6:30.
Absolutely.
You know,
the social clubs in particular were just jam-packed. From 6:30 onwards, weren't they? Many a night, and there was no such thing as a quiet night in the social club, was there?
No, every night was taken up.
Quiet night midweek, no such thing.
No, it was.
And those were the kind of heydays of that, yeah. But, and so, that's the late 60s taken care of. Then, how did you keep in touch with playing then?
Well, we went to separate ways. And I'm still plumbing. I was plumbing then.
I know you're a plumber because I am a plumber too. I think you didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that. No.
Yes, we can talk plumbing outside if you want.
Right, yes. I've got my tools out there.
Have you? Have you? All right. Yeah, footprints.
50 odd years old.
Footprints, have you?
Full of rust.
Yeah.
But then me and the brother-in-law, well, it was my brother-in-law then, got together, and. We did another 3 or 4 years, which was more enjoyable because we did all sorts of stuff. We did Simon and Garfunkel, John Denver, Roy Orbison, Beatles, Stones. We did, and that was really. I mean, we practiced twice a week at the Wellfield, and sometimes maybe 2 o'clock in the morning.
Know it well.
Yeah. In fact, once we practiced from 7 at night.
Yeah.
And during the evening, Eddie Cunningham, who played rugby, was having a do in the other room and came in and said, "Well, do we play for him?" And we played till 6 o'clock in the morning. And that was a practice. I was supposed to practice.
And that was just a practice.
Yeah, we were 7 till 6 o'clock in the morning. But we're that keen. We just loved it. We just loved the music, you know.
Yeah.
So
no such thing as time, was there?
No.
In those days.
No,
It
was revitalised. You might come home tired, but once you got into the music, it kind of got the adrenaline going. And, it was.
That's interesting. That once you get into the music, you just kind of let it happen, don't you?
Well, I'm the same now because I have all my stuff set up in the garage, and I might get home from work from plumbing 7 o'clock at night and go in there for 5 minutes, and 2 hours later, Sarah's shouting, what about your tea? You know?
And what about more recently? I know that I first met you down at Lanky Cats. I think it was phase 2, but you can't correct me on that. It was phase 2, and I remember you starting your sets off with Simon and Garfunkel, and I'm knowing.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Keep
that.
the customer satisfied. Yeah.
That was it. That's it. Keep me satisfied, and I thought that's unusual to kick off any set.
Yeah, because
any language in rock and roll.
He's an unusual person.
Hey?
He's an unusual person.
Takes one to know one.
I know.
I mean, more of your musical tastes come from sort of country and western, don't they?
Yeah, because what I did when my brother-in-law packed in, he had to pack in because he, in that duo, because he was made a partner at his accountancy. And he couldn't find time to do them both. But so I went on my own then for 5 years.
Right.
As a Wigan cowboy.
As the Wigan cowboy.
And dressed up.
You still got the guns.
Yeah.
Really?
Do the gun spinning.
Right.
And sing all the yodeling, yodeling.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
So it was. That was good.
Yeah.
And then I packed in and started working for myself then. So.
Yeah.
And then.
Well, I understand that. Self-employment, working for yourself, it's just you have to be 100% committed, and then it commits you 100%. And it's a two-way street with that kind of work, isn't it? I've been self-employed myself, but not as a musician, which I would have loved at one stage of my life, but I never made it as a kind of. I never made enough money to become a professional, but. That's not to say I didn't get a lot out of it, and I enjoyed it immensely. And we're still enjoying it now. That's the main thing. You came to Lanky Cats with phase 2. Graham Tosh, we've had Graham on the programme, and we don't see much of him down. We'd like to. I'd love to see him just pop his head round the door and say hello, and say hello to Graham to me, because he's an amazing keyboard player, isn't he?
He's good.
And
I saw him on his 70th. I went round last year.
Right.
To see him,
All right. Right, would you like to hitch up again, you two guys, and give us a little bit more of your delectable stuff? And what song is this particular one, Dan?
It's Bye Bye Love, by the Everly Brothers.
The Everly Brothers, we're looking forward to that. So whenever you're ready, take it away.
1, 2, 3.
Bye-bye love, bye-bye happiness, hello loneliness, I think I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye love, bye-bye sweet caress, hello emptiness, I think I'm gonna die. Bye my love, bye. There goes my baby with someone new. She sure looks happy, I sure am blue. She was my baby until you stepped in. Goodbye to romance, oh that might have been. Bye-bye love, bye-bye happiness, hello loneliness, I think I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye love, bye-bye sweet caress, hello emptiness, I think I'm gonna die. Bye-bye my love, goodbye. I'm through with romance, I'm through with love, I'm through with counting the stars above. What is the reason that I'm so free? My loving baby is through with me. Bye-bye about my love, about my sweet caress. Hello, emptiness. I think I'm gonna die. About my love, about my love, about my love, about
Across the wards of Wrightington and Wigan hospitals, playing the best of yesterday and today, 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. This is your station, Wrightington Hospital Radio.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm pretty impressed with all of that. Now then, that's the acoustic version, and if you're feeling like seeing these guys live, well, they're down at Lanky Cats a week tonight. That's the 17th of November. We'd love to see you there.
Why not?
We've got several other bands down there as well for you to come and watch and listen to, and delightfully we've got let's just think about it. I have to do this from memory. We've got the Blue Notes. Now the Blue Notes down there are unfortunately performing their last ever and they're doing it at Lanky Cats. So we are wishing them all the best in the future, individually and wherever they go individually. But as a band, they're packing in. They originally were with us right from the word go. When we started off Lanky Cats, when we were just a twinkle in my eye, they were there on the first night where we had a meeting and decided we'd have a little crack at this idea of forming a rock and roll society for guys and gals who wanted to play the rock and roll in a leisurely kind of way, and not be committed to kind of proper bookings, but play for maybe half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, something like that, and then just sit down, have a few pints and watch somebody else do exactly the same thing. And that's how Lanky Cats got formed in those early years, and the Blue Notes were part and parcel of all of that, and they've been with us all the way along. And I'd like to say a personal thank you to each member of the band. Malcolm Downer, thank you very much, Malcolm. Keith Wright, lead guitarist, thank you very much for that. John Costello, thank you very, very much. And Alan Gilligan, thank you very much. And I think it's Phil on keyboards, because I don't know Phil very well, but I think it's Phil, but I can't remember his second name, and I apologise profusely about that. But there you go. All 5 members of the band, thank you very much, and we've really given us a lot of joy and excitement and wonderful thoughts and feelings that you will leave us with, and so many best wishes for the future to you all. Now then, we've got about 7 minutes left, and I'm still reeling from an earlier track played by our guest here, Graham, and his band, what they're called Curfew. Now then, that CD is actually a double CD, and it has, counting up, 30 tracks all in all. So that's some feat and effort in putting that together. Made in 2004, I believe. So I'm going to play you another track from that, and this one is called Jeanne.
Small Jeanne took off through the city, strung out on lasers and slashback blazers. Ate all your raisins whilst pulling the waiters, talking about Monroe while walking on Snow White. New York's a go-go and everything tastes nice. Forever green. Ooh, get back on. Jeanne lives on his back. Jeanne loves Jimmy Stacks. It's outrageous, he screams and he moans. Jeanne, let yourself go. a short while, scratching the sand for a door of his hand. He says he's a beautician and sells you nutrition, keeps all your dead hair from making up underwear. Poor little greenie. Jeanne lives on his back. Jeanne loves Jimmy Stacks. It's outrageous, he screams and he moans. Jeanne, let yourself go. So simple-minded, he can't drive his module. He bites on a neon and sleeps in a capsule. Loves to be loved. Loves to be loved.
Today. Your station, your music, 24 hours a day.
I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses. I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. Give me hope, Joanna. Hope, Joanna. Hope before the morning.
Playing the best of yesterday and today. This is your station, Wrightington Hospital Radio.
Well, thank you very much for that. We thoroughly enjoyed Jeanne there, didn't we, Diane?
Brilliant track.
Graham Welling, you have excelled yourself in bringing that particular CD in for us to listen. Double CD called Curfew Revisited. And actually the band were knocking about the Wigan area in about 1973 or something like that. Anyway, I just got enough time now just to say a big thank you to Dan, to Jeff, to Graham for coming in and making it an exceedingly enjoyable hour. What do you think, Diane?
I think it's been brilliant. I love live music in the studio. You can't beat it.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
I can't believe we only got time for two.
Well, what I'm hoping to do in the
live.
future is set up, put live bands out there.
A full rig.
Yeah, play them out there. Why not? I'm hoping to get permission for that very soon.
Well, will you not kind of wake up the patients in the hospital?
No, because we're a long way away, aren't we? The patients are like a few hundred yards away from where we are.
Will you not upset the people in the boardroom? The executives.
I doubt it.
No.
Only thing
Can we not try and upset them in the boardroom?
I was just going to say.
Yeah.
I think it would be lovely, because that's rock and roll, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's go for it.
That's been great. Jeff, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Can I just mention about how good it is to play with these guys?
Yeah, sure, you certainly can.
And how Dan is doing fantastic. It's just, it's just it just loves that kind of music that we're doing. It's,
yeah. And for somebody so young who never saw the early Beatles, the early Stones, and all the music that was coming out at that particular time, you've embraced all that music, haven't you, John?
Yeah.
I know.
Well, everybody always says, Malcolm Downer especially always says, your mum's brainwashed you, she's shown you all the old music, and you know, my mum doesn't like the old music.
Yeah.
I've found this through TV adverts and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And,
Any road up, as they say in Wigan. Yeah. Graham, thank you very much.
No, it's my pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
Right,
Thank you for
okay.
inviting us.
Thank you, Diane, for producing again another wonderful show.
Anytime.
And we'll love you and leave you right now. We're signing off, and as usual, we'll try and sign off with our theme tune, Lanky Panky.